Alright, so I'm Clay with Aces and Eights Car Club. I'm here today with Eddie. He's got a nice car collection, and today we're just going to focus on one of his cars. So what is that car, Mr. Eddie?
This is a 1971 Comet GT.
Alright, so tell me a little bit about it. How long have you had it?
Well, I bought it when I was 15 years old off of Stewart Avenue.
Okay.
I'd worked all summer to cutting grass to make money to buy it. I'd earned $1,285, and me and my buddy, he was a year older than me, he's gone now, God rest his soul, but we went down looking, and they had it listed for $19.99 on the lot. Well, I didn't have that much money, so I went on the other side of the lot looking at some cars, and I gravitated back to this one, and then the salesman says, "You want that car?" I said, "Yes, sir, I'd like to have it." He says, "How much money you got?" Well, I was 15, without thinking about it, $1,285, I just blurted it out there. So I'm going to say that car for $1,285, then I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to sell it to you for $1,265, let you take $20 home for gas.
Oh wow, that's pretty awesome.
So we're 15, I'm 15, my buddy was 16, we go in this little trailer on his lot, he filled out all the paperwork, I pay him, never asked for ID or anything, gave me the title. Out there, my buddy followed me home, and my dad came in from work that day from Hearst Penske. He was a mechanic, and he said, "Whose other car is it?" I said, "It's mine." "Where'd you get it?" "I bought it on Stewart Avenue." He said, "I don't mind you buying the car because you worked all summer, but how'd you get it home?" "I drove it." "If you get in trouble, boy, driving without a license, I'm not getting you out of jail." Exactly what
Right.
My father told me. He was pretty stern about that, but that's where I wound up getting the car, and I never intended on buying it and keeping it as long as I did. I just bought it because I thought it was a cool car at the time. It had the original GT stripes, it had side pipes, had a tack on the hood, spoiler on the rear.
So how many people got burned by the side pipes?
Quite a few. Quite a few girls in high school got burned.
So you lost a lot of girls and decided to take them off?
Well, I just decided to take them off. I didn't want to see them legs scarred up on them.
Right.
Pretty girls.
I see.
But, and that's what this chrome is. That was the top that held the cover on over the top of the pipe.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because it didn't come with that. But this was actually a Pugmire Lincoln Mercury GT up off of 41.
Okay.
It was a Pugmire Lincoln GT that they did up there. And
So it had a little custom things like under the hood, probably from them.
had a 4-barrel and 302,
Okay.
and 4-speed in it, and it had the spoilers, like I said, the side pipes and the tack, and it was just different.
So what color was it originally?
It was competition yellow.
And this is
76 Corvette yellow.
okay. And the stripes are
I bought them out of Advance or a
Pet
parts
Boys
store,
or
Pet
something?
Boys. It was a long time ago, and after I had it painted, when Mr. Page painted it, I just put them and I just cut them right here and just kind of laid them on the wheel wells. Yep.
So why have you held it that long? You mentioned it, but I mean, is it?
Well, I started really getting involved in cars when I was about 21, and when I got out of high school, I bought my first Corvette, which was a 71 hardtop convertible. And I parked this, and I had a 69 Camaro with a 454 671 in it, blower sticking through it. And I had put this up, and I'd parked this, and I'd parked the Camaro and the Vet. And then when my first wife got pregnant with my son, I told him if it's a girl, she's going to get the Corvette. If it's a boy, he's going to get the Comet. Neither one of us was going to get the Camaro. It was too much car for either kid. And it happened to be a boy. And so that's how I held on so long. Because he was like, when he was born in 1989, the car set until he got old enough to drive. I'd take him for a ride in it from time to time. And I taught him how to drive 4-speed when he was about 14 years old. And he came to me after he drove it a few times. He asked me, he said, "Dave, can we narrow it up?" Because he'd seen some of my cars I'd done. I said, "Sure, son, we can narrow it up." And then my son drove through high school. And now,
With it narrowed up like that?
with it narrowed up. Can you imagine being
Probably
in high
the
school?
only kid back then
Yeah.
with the narrowed up hot rod.
Yeah. Told me about it.
What size tire is that? I mean, you mentioned
It's a 31 18.5. Mickey Thompson's. It's had a 410 in it, and with the taller tires, I thought a 410 I would lose a little bit of gear, but it would really screaming at about 300 yards. It was wide open. It was screaming. So I took it, I put a 355 in it, and it's a whole lot better now. I can drive it on the street and on the highways and stuff.
And it's not a spool or anything in the rear.
No, it's just a poly track. It's a poly track. It's not a spool.
What kind of setups are there? Like 4-link or like diet, you know?
No,
3-link or something?
it's actually the leaf spring car.
Really?
Yeah, I've moved them all in, so it's got leaf spring rear end under it.
I've seen people do that on Dodges, though. Like Dodge trucks, they'll swap one side to the other.
Right.
And then put them in. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, and I put slide boxes on the back. You know what they are.
Yeah.
I put those on the back so the spring would slide and give like it's supposed to.
Right.
So, and I made all the frame rails and everything myself at my shop down at my daddy's. We bought some. I just held on to this car for something. Well, like I said, I gave it to my son, so that's probably why I held it on so long.
And now you said your son, so you got it back from your son how?
Well, he has a house in Alabama, but he doesn't have a garage. And I said, son, you're not going to take this car and just let it sit outside and ruin. I said, once you get a garage or a place to keep it, you build you a building or whatever, a carport with a door on it, you can take it there and keep it with you. But he has never done that. And so we, like I said, I had it up on the lift back here. It needed new clutch pressure plate thought bearing. My son came down and asked me, he said, did you fix the car yet? And I said, no, sir, I didn't. I said, you been down here to help me or bring me any money? He said, and he's in his 30s. He said, nope. He said, it looks good sitting up there, just leave it sitting up there. So he left. I got thinking about it. I poured it off the lift, put a new clutch pressure plate throwout bearing in it, went a little step further, bought a 347 crate motor put in it, redid the brakes all the way around it, and I've been driving it ever since. And I haven't told him yet.
That's awesome.
Because I know what he'll do is he'll be here and he'll want to drive it and run it and run it and run it. Then he'll bring it back with something wrong with it and say, okay, I'm done with it. And I just don't want that to happen.
So with all the stuff, the way it looks, the way it sits, I mean, did you ever take it on the track when you were younger?
Oh, yeah.
Or? Yeah?
Oh, yeah. It actually, with the 302 that came in it, with the little 4-barrel that was on it, had a little headwork done to it. And it would run pretty good. And I've run it at Dallas a few times. I run it at Green Valley, Alabama a few times. But, you know, it was just a street class. It wasn't nothing major, no nitrous or nothing like that.
Right.
Just a straight up, heads up street race with other cars. It was comparable to this.
All right. How'd you like? So, like, what was the, being you've had it this long, and what was the best memory you have of this car?
The best memory I had of this car that really sticks with me is, we were at a car show one time, and my son was like 16 or 17, and he took this car with him, and I had a Camaro or something there, I don't remember what, my other Chevelle, and a guy came over and had a GT500, had lots of money, and he had another car there, I think it was, I'm not sure what it was, his Ford GT, but it was an older model, like 64, 65, and he wanted to buy this car. And I said, it's not mine, it's my son's. He said, where's your son? I said, he's walking around looking at other cars. And so he seen my son walk back up to me, he came back over and he said, I want to talk to you about buying your car. And my son says, it's not for sale. And the man said, you didn't hear my offer yet. He says, I don't care what your offer is, it's not for sale. So the guy said, I'll give you $8,500 for it right now. And this was back, my son was 16, 17, and he's 33 now, so it was a few years ago. And then the guy left and came back a little while later and said, I'll give you $10,000 for the car right now. My son's not for sale. And when the man walked off, I said, Jerry, why didn't you sell that car? He said, Dad, it was your first car. It's my first car. Maybe I can give it to my son if I have one. So,
that's awesome.
So it touched me right there when he said that. I said, you could have made you some money, but he didn't want to.
And, you know, what's your wife think about all your collections and all your addiction, I would say, to cars?
She's okay with it.
Yeah?
She seems to be okay with it. She told me, she says, I don't care what you do, what you buy. She says, but when I come to you at the end of the month and say I need so X amount of dollars for the bills, if you have me that money, we're cool. She's very supportive of what I do, and she loves driving them too. She loves bringing them to the shows. Right,
yeah, we see her a lot. She seems really enthused, and she got a trophy with one of the other cars, which we'll probably have to highlight at a later date. So what's your favorite upgrade on your car?
Well, now the motor would be, I would imagine, since I put the 347 in it, it runs a whole lot better, it's a whole lot quicker. But probably one of the better upgrades is when I tubbed it for my son. when I narrowed it up, because it makes, you don't see very many narrowed cars anyway, a few, but not Comets.
Right.
You ever hardly see Comets or Mavericks, you know, tubbed out. And I did it all myself, and I guess I'm also still pretty proud that's the original interior. It's still in it.
I love the interior. We'll have to go through that in a minute. We'll let you talk to her about it. And so I guess, if you wouldn't mind, I guess we'll open the hood and go inside. Is there anything else you want to do to the car that you haven't already done? Or is this the way you think you're going to leave it?
Like I was telling somebody at the car show that I didn't have very much money growing up. I kind of grew up poor. I mean, not, you can edit that if you want to, but I grew up with not a lot of money. This is basically all I could do to it at the time. You know, and there's dents and things in it. And now I have the money. I could straighten it out and make it laser straight, but it wouldn't be the same car. So I don't think I'll do anything else to it except maybe keep it running and keep stuff usable and workable on it. And if I can do that, and then when I'm gone from this world, then my son will take it over. You can see a little gold on the back of the hood because the car I got the hood off of was gold.
Oh, after
I found it was wrecked after I wrecked it, yeah.
So you got the 347 like trailer. What numbers do they kind of make on power? And...
well, they told me it made about 460 horsepower. Well, now I don't know that it makes that much, but that's what they told me when I bought it. It's got the aluminum heads on it, got a little cam in it. I don't have a big carburetor on it because the 600 runs so well on it.
Yeah, a lot of people over-carburate cars like crazy. Yep. And it's got manual disc brakes and everything, huh, for the master cylinder?
All the way around, yep.
So it's disc brake all the way around?
No, it's manual.
Okay.
It's drum brake.
Oh, you got drum brakes all the way around?
Yeah, I redid them, but I just put new shoes on them, new drums, new lines, but it's still all drum brakes.
So that's a lot of power to stop this little light thing with drum brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Eddie, so I guess just tell us a little bit about the car.
The transmission is a top-loader 4-speed.
Okay.
With a Hertz shifter on it. The interior is all original. I've never had anything done to it. It's starting to get a little wear on it on the driver's seat over there. And I put the mechanical gauges in it when I put the new motor in it. And when I tubbed it out, every car I've ever tubbed, I've always put back seat back in them. I just don't like the
I love that
flat panel. I had to cut the way how big the tubs are. I had to cut the seat and rearrange it, and I had to take it to an upholstery guy.
Tell me about the steering wheel of the car. Is that original?
No, sir, it's not. It came with a wooden steering wheel the day I bought it, and I took it off because I thought it was too big.
Right.
And I went and bought a little GT, a Grant GT wheel, and because it said GT in it, and this was a GT, so I thought that matched. But it was only about that big around, and it was really hard to drive the car, like when you're in a parking lot or trying to back it up or something.
Is this manual steering car?
It is manual steering, and I put the big steering wheel by wood store. I finally found one, and I bought it and put it back on me.
So I think that's like the first step of like being a hot rod guy. Like you don't have to know anything about a car, but you can buy a steering wheel at like somewhere, and you can put it on. The horn might not work your first time.
Yep.
But dude, it's still got the original radio, man.
Yeah. When I was a teenager.
Yeah.
With that everything.
Oh, dude, the EQ? That's gangster as fuck, man. 4-speed?
Yeah, that's the pill I sat on through high school to drive this thing.
Really?
I had to sit on the pill all the way through high school.
And was it used when you bought it?
Yeah, oh yeah. It was sitting on a used car lot on Stewart Avenue.
She runs good, man.
She runs alright. We're in the rain.
Right, now we're in the rain.
Yeah.
And a narrowed up 347.
As long as they don't get real wet.
So you still got the EQ in there, the Clarion EQ, the factory radio.
I used to have the mind blowers in it.
Oh, really? So the radio and everything still gangster works.
That's the realest thing.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Sound good, but it works.
No, I mean, it's cool, man. To me, that's like a street car. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like wiper blades are kind of like optional, but like a radio, to me, that makes it a street car. Dude, it's so like gangster original like though. I mean, just a little bit differences. So you sat on this pillow because the seats were bad, or what?
No, I sat on because I was so short.
Really?
I was only 4'9" when I graduated high school.
Oh, you had a growth spurt late, didn't you?
I had 22.
Really?
Yeah, I went from about 4'9", 98, about 94 pounds, 96 pounds, to 5'10" and a half, about 200 at the time when I got 22.
Wow. It pulls good, man. It's got good torque.
Yeah, for old Comet.
All right, Eddie. We appreciate you, man. It's been really cool. It's been awesome being here, hearing the story, hearing a little bit of your life, your kid's life. I feel like I met him already. I want to thank you for being a member of the Aces and Eights. I think you're a great asset to us. I love the fact that you cruise and beat the streets up with us. I couldn't say thank you enough. And we want to do more videos of the rest of your collection, your addiction, and if that's cool with you.
That's cool, yeah, I appreciate that. Please like this video and hit the bell and subscribe to us. This is Aces and Eights, and I want y'all to know that this is the first car club I've ever been in. And I used to just go to shows by myself and do my own thing, but I really enjoy the companionship and the camaraderie that's at the shows and stuff, and I know more and more people each week, and I appreciate y'all asking me to be in it.